game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Well, that's just how you envision it when you walk to the first tee. High and deep, right in the middle of the fairway. Good way to start. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I've got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. So, Frank, a par 4 to open, and we back it up with a relatively short par 3.
This green's surrounded by 6 bunkers. Green also shaped slightly towards the player's left, so just keep your eye on that depending on where the flag is.
Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit, but that's irrelevant now. Let's see if he can get it up and down.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Still even par for the day. So par 4 to open, then a par 3, and now Frank here at the third, a par 5 at 528 yards.
And you get to see everything very early on in the round. Dogleg left first hole, par 3 second, and now a long dogleg right, par 5. With a good tee shot, though, you can definitely reach this hole in 2. Rich, there's such a big advantage. You tee it up on a peg there. It should be an easy shot. But remember, this is the most powerful club in the bag. This is the one that you have to nail out of the middle of club face.
Demonstrating there and really all day that he is one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the sport. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
So that one settles about 18 feet away from the cup. Pretty good shot. Settles in over the putt. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Even par early on. Frank, it's always fun to play a par 3 just like this one.
That ball's going to go further. Obviously, get to tee it up. Should be able to carry that water. That's really the only problem for the player in front. But once again, another good chance for a birdie.
192-yard par 3 fourth. Appears to be tracking well. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
So a tester from 4 feet. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Well, again, Frank, we get that good mix of holes here. We've had a couple of par 3s, a short par 5, and that opening par 4. Now at the 5th hole, 424-yard par 4.
The first bunker on the right, not really in play for the good players. Just be a little cognizant of that one on the left side, depending on what club you want to hit off the tee. Ideally, that line is the third bunker, the one in the distance. It's a good line off the tee here.
Frank, what are you thinking about on this approach here at the 5th?
Once again, with a good drive, you're left with a scoring club. By that I mean a short iron. Gives you a lot more options and a lot more flags you can go at. Even with a flag in the back left with a scoring club in hand, you can virtually just go straight at that. The ball will not kick too much once it hits the green.
In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. Frank, you played at the highest level all over the world. What was a comfortable yardage for you on holes like this?
I actually had a club, believe it or not, that just the grooves on it, it would go 105 yards. It was a lofted sand iron, whether it was out of the first cut or rough or the fairway. So if I could hit it around 100 yards, I could almost hit that distance with my eyes closed. After that, 70 yards was the next one. So everybody has that little sort of sweet spot with the wedge.
So that means on a hole like this, you were looking for something off the tee in the 265 to 270 range, and that would put what club in your hand?
Just in those days, it was a 53-degree sand iron. Yeah.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. Now to the long par 5 7th hole, 602 yards, Frank. They call it hoodoo.
Yeah, it's nothing for a little muscle man. Bust one up the tee there. Well, actually it is. You're going to need 2 of your best if you want to reach this par 5 and 2. So, start with a good one.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Frank, that one is long, and it is straight.
Well, in baseball, that's a home run. In golf, that is a huge advantage over everybody else that plays the game. You imagine just teeing up on every hole knowing that you've got 20 or plus yards over your fellow competitors?
Headed for the bunker? That one is in the bunker. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Starting to feel it now. 2 straight birdies and 3 under for the round. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Just aim a little further to the left.
Frank, I think that went in. It's a hole-in-one. He made an ace. That is unbelievable. So we'll round out the front side here at Banff Springs with a par 5 and reasonably short at only 501 yards.
So very reachable because of that yardage that you just referenced. Hole bends a little bit to the right. You can favor the left side with a tee shot. It's just going to make that angle on the second a little bit easier.
Just busted that. 325 yards in the fairway. Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow, and golf like this looks easy. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Frank, how rare would this be if this putt drops?
Well, this is I'd like to say once in a lifetime, but on the odd occasion we do see back-to-back eagles, but it certainly is something to watch. Rich, how can you leave an eagle putt short?
Well, you can't. I mean, that's embarrassing.
You can leave a par putt, birdie putt, an eagle putt.
Might want to just shut the game down. Quit playing. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, that hurts. Thought he had it. Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. On the tee here at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4. Is this a drive you like to hit, Frank?
It certainly is, Rich, but it's a little narrower than what your eye first sees. And the reason why, there's a tree sort of another 40, 50 yards down the right side past that bunker. So if you hog that right side, that tree can become a little bit of a problem for the second shot.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Down, little Sheba. Down! Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck? It's no snack, though.
Oh, I thought he had that. Good try. Just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Has this one for par. Good, confident stroke. That's what you like to see. Putting for par. Stays at 6 under. Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Bow. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Bow. Doglegs to the player's right. A couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
That is a heat-seeking missile. Look out. 325 yards and in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Five birdies for the day. What a performance. Well, this is a good hole right here. Par 3, 225 yard, 13th. Frank, what do you think?
Well, it's called sulfur. I can't remember what element that is on a periodic table, but hardest thing here is not to figure that out, but figure out what club you're going to use. Just a fraction downhill, just over 200 yards. It does narrow up when they start to stick the flag in the back, but there's a nice fat target there, sort of those first 2/3 of the green.
From about 8 feet. Starting to heat up now. Back-to-back birdies. Well done. Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right. So the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that sort of right line. So don't be fooled here.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Good-looking shot right here. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, this would be huge.
Oh, it's got that strut going, everything. This is when that hole starts to look a little bit bigger. You really feel like you can start to make everything.
Frank, looking out here on the 15th hole, this looks like a spot where you could really crank one that you could tell your buddies about.
It's another hole that suits a player that hits the ball right to left. It's no surprise to see why Rory McIlory plays well around here. Nice, big, high-towering draw. It's going to go that extra yardage because of the elevation.
That was just a beautiful drive. You hit it solid and right in the middle. Pretty stout second shot here at the par 4 15th. And Frank, what's the right way to shape this one?
It's actually one of the few shots you probably want to hit left to right. Notice the entry of the green is more on that left side of the green. Green does pitch back to the player as well, so maybe a little cut in here for a change.
That is classy.
Maybe a chance of going in.
This would be nice. Birdie on the card. See if he can make it. Well, there's impressive, and then there's mind-boggling. We're at mind-boggling now. 10 under par. Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunker, you should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you'll certainly hit.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie.
Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Now to the 17th, 374 yards, and Frank, players might be licking their chops here.
They certainly would, Rich. Bunkers left and right, but they can be carried with an aggressive tee shot. It would set up just a short iron into a green that pitches towards you. So maybe just a little bit underneath the flag with a second shot. And really a chance to have a fast finish.
Took the big stick off the tee, but still challenging short second shot coming up here, Frank.
A much shorter second shot here on 17, Rich. But because that green's elevated, you've actually got to be that much more precise with this pitch.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
He'll need to be strong with this. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Well, Frank, we've heard of lucky sevens. Nothing lucky about this run. This has been spectacular.
Just pure genius out there at the moment. This is something to watch. So, fingers crossed, 7 in a row.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Good work right there. He'll settle for